'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just say yo. Hey, how's it going there, pal? Hey, listen, guy, do me a favor. Ask me if I've seen Space Jam: A New Legacy. Go on and ask me. It's not a trick question. I'm not trying to pull a rug out from under you. Go on, ask me. Go ahead and ask me. What's that you say? Did I see Space Jam: A New Legacy? Get the fuck out of here. Look at you. How you sound asking me a question like that, you dumbass. Get out of my face. Don't ask me no dumb shit like that. I would rather go see Captain Marvel 45 times before I went to go see Space Jam: A New Legacy one time. And believe me, that's saying a lot. Now leave me. Leave my sight. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I want to talk to you about this day and age that we're living in, where you're not allowed to like or dislike a movie on your own without someone telling you that you should like or dislike it, or why, or they'll take offense because you don't like it or dislike it, like somehow it fucks up their movie going experience. Now, I see this article, right? And this is a very, very peculiar article, and it's suggesting that Space Jam: A New Legacy, if you don't like that movie, it's because you are completely missing the point. There's something wrong with you that you're not seeing and loving this movie, guys. And I gotta share this with you to get your thoughts on how you feel about this, okay? Now, I should say, like, straight off the top, I have no desire to see this movie. And I really don't want to go in on LeBron James's corny pussy ass because, you know, I have a nephew who loves LeBron James, right? And I'm trying to be as respectful as possible because I respect and I love my nephew, you know, so I hope he never sees this video because, you know, kids have a right to have their heroes, you know, and of course, as they get older and they can make up their own mind, you know, they'll start to, I guess, kind of process this person as a human being, and maybe this person will live up to their expectations or they won't. But it's not on us as the adults to like fuck with their hero worship and how they feel about things. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to bring up, you know, LeBron not being able to take a stand and being in bed with communist China and what's going on with the Uyghur Muslims over there. And yet he's a hypocrite ass motherfucker because he wants to be waving the flag of Black Lives Matter and he wants to point out racism everywhere. Meanwhile, there's actual slavery and prison camps going on in the very place that he does business with that makes him a rich dude. You know what I mean? I wouldn't point some shit like that out because I want my nephew to, you know, have the best experience that he can possibly have. You know what I mean? So I'll leave his punk ass out of it. I'm not going to talk about that, right? But I do have this article that I saw in Screen Rant that, you know, I want to run it past you guys because I want to get your ideas on this day and age that we're living in where there's got to be something wrong with us. I have never seen a time like this in human history in my life where we can't just say, I didn't enjoy something without somebody putting you under the microscope. And there's got to be something wrong with you psychologically and emotionally that you can pay money for something and just not have an objective opinion about it. You just must like it. You must obey. You must comply. You must consume. And that's the way it is these days, right? Okay, so I got this article here on ScreenRant.com. Shout out to them. And it says, Space Jam 2's bad reviews are missing the point. Space Jam: A New Legacy has been slammed with negative reviews, but we look at why the harsh criticisms of Space Jam 2 are missing the point. They're missing the point, okay? I would think that it's pretty simple. I paid money for something. Either I'm going to like it or I'm not going to like it, right? But, okay, we're missing the point. There's something deeper than that, okay? The people who saw Space Jam: A New Legacy who didn't like it, listen up, okay? Here's what's wrong with you. Space Jam: A New Legacy has been plagued with bad reviews, but they're all missing the movie's point. Multiple reviews have thrown around the word soulless. Soulless. I remember describing The Last Jedi as soulless. It seems like there's a lot of soulless movies going on out here and soulless music and entertainment and stuff like that. You just can't feel it. You know what I mean? And if you can't feel it, then chances are you're just not gonna like it. Nobody can make you feel it. If they make you feel it, there's a 4-letter word for that that begins with R. You can't just hold somebody down and make them feel it. You're gonna take this movie. You're gonna take it. Shut the fuck up. You're gonna take it. You're gonna like it. Okay. Let's go on. Okay, I lost my place. Let me find my place. Okay, guys, bear with me. Okay, so it says here, Multiple reviews have thrown around the word soulless and panned Space Jam 2 for its lack of fun, meta humor put on display in the first movie. But that's not what the movie is going for in the slightest. So it's not going for fun. It's not going for meta humor. Meta humor. Keeping in mind, this is a movie about an NBA player who's going to play basketball with a bunch of Looney Tune cartoons. You're telling me that meta humor, self-awareness is not part of the equation? Is that even possible? I would say that they don't understand, but going on. It is first and foremost a family movie looking to entertain children on the most basic level. Here we go again with the assumption that kids are just a bunch of fucking dumbasses and they'll just take whatever you want. Once again, trying to raise the next generation to obey, comply, consume, and that's the most basic level there could possibly be because they're not thinking, and that's the kind of generation you want to be your next generation. And this is the problem. This is the reason why Hasbro and all these other companies feel like they have to go out of their way to try to condition children because they don't want their expectations to be anything. All they want them to be is dictated to. I'm sure there's a name for that too. Going on. Space Jam 2 takes on a more family-oriented approach than the first film. In Space Jam, Jordan is more or less kidnapped by the Looney Tunes and forced to compete in a game that the cartoon characters arranged for themselves. Jordan may have had a family in that film, but is by no means the focus of the story. So you have to have a family in the movie for it to be a family film. Is that what they're basically saying? It can't just appeal to a family. It's got to actually have a family. Now we get into the question of how do you define a family? Okay? Because they're trying to act like it's about traditional family. But I thought pop culture today was against traditional family. A family is whatever you want it to be. You can be a nobody like Ray Nobody and still you can find your family and a bunch of co-stars that you share not one scene with in the second movie, which would be The Last Jedi, the bullshit that it was. But I digress. Going on. Let's see. Is by no means the focus of the story. Space Jam has the reputation of a family film due to the level of nostalgia that many people, especially millennials, associate it with. So you're just thinking it's a family film. I don't know, because maybe you saw it with your family and you get feelings of nostalgia, you know. So just throw away the original Space Jam. It's not what you thought it was. I don't know what it was. Oh yeah, it was fun and it was full of meta humor. And Space Jam 2 is not that. So pray, please tell us, what is Space Jam 2 full of? Yes, that was loaded. Okay. Because of that, Space Jam 2's bad reviews are completely missing the fact that it is a traditional family film. Each Space Jam movie has completely different motivations. The original movie was meant to be a fictionalized version of what Jordan did after retiring from basketball. Jordan was as big a celebrity as one could get in the 90s, and the movie was created as a vehicle to benefit both parties. And of course, this movie is not a vehicle to benefit both parties. No, of course not. LeBron James gets nothing out of this. Of course he doesn't. You know, and as far as the studio, Warner Brothers, I mean, this is just a traditional family film. As a matter of fact, it's a non-profit film. Is that what the fuck they're trying to tell us now? It's got no motivations whatsoever, you know, but okay, dude, you know, just keep pissing on us and telling us it's raining. While Space Jam 2 was clearly meant to ride on the success and nostalgia of the first movie, Rip It Off, along with the popularity of many Warner Brothers properties, it is primarily a movie catered to the younger audience, and James's relationship with his son takes center stage in the movie, not his career. Bull fucking shit. It's a movie about this dude dribbling his basketball, okay? It's called Space Jam, not Space Dad, okay? If it was about him and his relationship with his son, it would be called Space Dad or some shit like that, or Space Absentee Father or some dumb shit, you know what I mean? But it's not. It's called Space Jam. You're selling it because he's an NBA star. So don't see, you see what they're doing? It's about his relationship with his son and not his career. Okay, so basketball doesn't figure into this movie, right? This dude is full of shit. All right, it goes on. Many harsh criticisms of Space Jam 2 overlook this. The Space Jam sequel is different from Jordan's installment. It is a more emotional story with different goals than the original story. But since Space Jam 2 follows the outline of the original movie pretty closely, critics have been unfairly holding each movie to the same standard because it's got the same fucking name. They're both called Space Jam, okay? Space Jam. All right, so there's a standard. Is there not a standard when you call two movies the same thing and it's basically the same premise, right? So you would think there would be a little bit of a similar standard, right? Family movies don't always need to include meta humor, or here we go with the meta humor shit, I already dispelled that, or a deep level of soul. Soul! Sometimes they're simply intended to entertain kids and their parents. While Space Jam: A New Legacy might not be a great movie on its own right, okay, you can stop there. But he goes on, critics should have fairly judged it on an appropriate set of criteria. All right, so there it is. You were being unfair if you saw Space Jam and didn't like it. You completely missed the point. They're just assuming all of this shit it goes for general audiences. You know what I mean? So everybody is wrong who didn't like this movie. Let me tell you something, guys. We are living in a time where we have lost the ability to be able to respect what other people like and what other people don't like, which is the reason why I have said a million times that the devil is the thumbs up, thumbs down feature. Okay, because all it does is cause people to fight. We have no respect for one another whatsoever. Your opinion has got to be a popularity contest. You just can't be an individual. Well, let me explain something to you in a way that a lot of us can probably relate to, okay? If you are a man and you meet another man, he's a friend of yours, all right? And you get to talking, you're talking about where you grew up and everything, and the people that you knew and ex-girlfriends, and it turns out that you banged the same girl in the past, all right? You banged the same chick, Now, you're not going to fight about this now because it's years later and she dumped both of your sorry asses, okay? So let's say I'm one dude and there's another dude and we start reminiscing about this chick, you know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, she was a good girl. I don't know whatever happened to her. I think she's a hooker now. All right, whatever. Oh, man. And the other guy says, listen, man, how about the way she used to slob that knob? You know what I mean? She gave brain like nobody else's business. What do you think, pal? And I'm like, I've had better. You've had better, the other guy says. Are you kidding me? She did all types of tricks, man. That was the best I ever had. I'm like, okay, it's the best you ever had. I had better. You know something, bro? You're really messing up this experience for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like people like you who make me just not, you're just messing up the whole experience. It's like, dog, you got your knob slobbed and you loved it. It was the best you ever had. You know what I mean? I said I've had better. How does that affect you? You did your thing. You know what I mean? You had your experience. But this is what we're dealing with these days. People just they need you. They need you to obey, comply, and consume. And they don't realize how they're being used by whoever's in charge of all of this to put this sentiment out there that we just can't be individuals. You know what I mean? There's got to be something wrong with you if you don't like what we tell you to like. What we give you, you're supposed to accept. You know what I mean? I can accept that people don't like shit that I've liked. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. The MCU, I'm a big MCU fan. I know that the MCU right now, it's in style to bash the MCU. You know what I mean? I got to sit here on a regular and listen to people, just completely go in. It's trash. This is trash. That's trash. Let me tell you something. Confession. I actually did not hate WandaVision. I didn't hate Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I didn't hate Loki. I didn't hate Black Widow. I'm not saying that these things were perfect, and I understand the criticisms of them. I haven't heard anybody criticize the film where I wasn't like, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, I do feel like they did more right in the MCU than they did wrong. It doesn't mean that I don't see what they did wrong. I just think they did more right. That's my opinion. And it's your opinion if you think it's trash. That's cool. It's not bothering me. I had a great time in the movie theater with my son. We created great memories. I'm not going to be ashamed of that. But these are the days that we're living in, guys. So before you go out and seek some type of psychiatric help because you didn't like Space Jam 2, I would say to you, Good for you. You have a functioning individual brain. All right. That's something that I respect. I'm glad that you do. And if you liked it, I'm glad that you liked it as well. Like I said, I got family that I love and respect very much who said that they enjoyed the film. And I'm glad for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not my thing. It's not my thing. And I don't think that I need to go seek help because of it. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? You can get in the comment section and you can let me know. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can catch me on Twitter. If not, I will see you on the next one. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.